Hello, my name is Ryan and I'll be interviewing for the Medical Administrative Assistant position at New Dawn Medical. So tell us a little bit about yourself. I am a biomedical sciences student at the University of Guelph with a very strong interest in healthcare administration and a goal to build a career where I can both support patients and medical professionals in a hospital and clinical setting. Throughout my academic journey, I have developed a strong foundation in the medical sciences along with patient care and administrative processes, which align very well for this role. I have gained valuable administrative experiences through my work as a tennis instructor and administrator for the University of Guelph. In this position, I handled scheduling, documentation, and customer service to ensure smooth operations. Additionally, as the public relations officer at the University of Guelph First Response Team, I was responsible for coordinating events, managing outreach, while maintaining team communications effectively, which strengthened my ability to work under pressure, stay organized, and most of all collaborate within a team. Beyond my work experience, I also hold an emergency medical responder certification that I obtained from the University of Guelph First Response Team. Getting my emergency medical responder certification has given me hands-on insight into healthcare protocols, patient confidentiality, and handling high-pressure situations. I take great pride and confidence in being organized, adaptable, and most of all proactive, which I believe are all very key skills in working in a fast-paced medical environment. I'm very excited about the opportunity to work with New Dawn Medical because I admire the work you do in supporting individuals who are struggling with addiction and chronic pain. I'm eager to bring my administrative skills, healthcare knowledge, and strong work ethic to your team while also continuing to improve, grow, and learn in this field. That's great. Thank you. Please describe a situation when you had many projects due at the same time. What steps did you take to get them all done? In my role as a public relations officer for the University of Guelph First Response Team, I encountered a particularly challenging period where I was balancing multiple major responsibilities at once. I was organizing public outreach events, managing team communications, and maintaining detailed records, all the while fulfilling my duties as a first responder. At the same time, I am a full-time biomedical sciences student with coursework deadlines and approaching midterm examinations and final examinations. With so many overlapping commitments, I realized that I needed to implement a structured approach to ensure nothing was overlooked. The first step was creating a detailed schedule. So using a detailed planner with reminders, having a calendar that kept track of reminders, having to-do lists, all to track deadlines and prioritizing tasks effectively. I categorized each and every one of these into categories of responsibilities based on urgency, so the deadline, and the importance, which allowed me to focus on higher priority items while ensuring continuous progress in long-term projects. I believe that breaking large tasks into smaller and more manageable steps helped me avoid feeling overwhelmed. Next, I recognized the importance of delegation, so I assigned these responsibilities based on my team members' strengths. So for instance, a team member with strong graphics design, with those skills, they took charge of things like promotional materials, while other people with different talents coordinated things like volunteer scheduling. This ensured the efficiency and allowed me to focus on higher level planning and executing them efficiently. To maintain productivity, I implemented time blocking techniques, so I set aside dedicated time for academics while maintaining my work responsibilities and personal time to avoid burnout. I also conducted weekly check-ins with my team to monitor our progress to make sure we don't fall behind, while also troubleshooting any challenges and ensuring smooth operations. As a result, I successfully organized a well-attended outreach event, which I found that went very successfully as there was a lot of people who showed up to our event. My academic scores and my performance was very good as well. And the best of all is that no deadlines were missed and there was no need for any sort of extensions or any unnecessary stress on myself personally or the team. This overall experience reinforced my ability to manage different priorities while implementing organizational strategies. And I think the most of all is understanding that I can be adaptable under pressure. These skills were directly applicable to many other roles as well, such as when I was a tennis administrative assistant. where multiple tasks and coordinating with different stakeholders and ensuring like smooth day-to-day operations at the tennis facility. By staying proactive, structured, and efficient, I can effectively handle these fast-paced natures. Thank you for your response. Tell me about a time you took initiative to do something that needed to be done, even though it wasn't really your responsibility. While working as a tennis administrator for the city of Guelph, I noticed that there was an ongoing issue that was affecting both staff and players, which was confusion about court times and match schedules. So the situation was that many players arrived at the wrong times, so there was like double bookings, and that frustrated a lot of the players, which also gave a lot of stress to the staff, and most of all, it led to a lot of unnecessary conflicts and delays. Although my main responsibilities was handling like emails, coaching players, scheduling, and other administrative tasks, I took a step forward, a bit of a leap of faith, and saw an opportunity to improve the system and decided to take some action. I began analyzing the existing scheduling process to pinpoint the root causes of why these confusions were so consistent over a long period of time. I believe that the scheduling format was hard to find on the website, so information wasn't being communicated proactively, and the players lacked reminders for their matches, or if they wanted to reschedule, it wasn't really feasible. Once I noticed and recognized these issues, I decided to plan and redesign them with the higher-ups while making it clear that we do need a new system and structure for easier reference for both players and staff. To ensure better communication, I implemented a system where players received automated email reminders for their matches, or they get automated text messages with the details in advance prior to the time they arrive at the court. Additionally, I started reaching out directly to individuals who have expressed previous confusion and making sure that they understood that the schedules will be fixed, they will be improved, and addressing any other concerns for other players before problems continue to arise. I feel like that after implementing these changes, scheduling conflicts were significantly reduced and players felt more confident about their match times, so they didn't have to have any unnecessary worries. I believe the improved system that all the staff worked on also made everyone in the facility's job easier, so the staff could focus on their teaching while the players could focus on playing, and they no longer had to deal with frequent banter or other disputes about last-minute scheduling adjustments. I feel that this experience, most of all, reinforced the importance of proactively identifying inefficiencies and taking ownership of solutions. I believe it is very important also in a medical administrative setting that the ability to streamline these processes while improving communication and anticipating potential issues before they arise are absolutely critical. I believe that taking initiative and continuously looking for ways to improve these operations is a key to success in any administrative role or any other role in the job market. Thank you very much. Tell me about a situation in which you had to collaborate with several people to achieve a goal. As the public relations officer for the University of Guelph First Response Team, I was tasked with leading the organization with large campus-wide outreach events aiming to raise awareness about our existence and the services we provide for the campus. So for this event, we required huge coordination with multiple different organizations on campus helping to make this event possible. This included my team members, university officials, external partners, and student volunteers. With so many different moving parts from all these different directions, I had to ensure seamless collaboration, as this was very essential to make this event very possible. To start, I structured the team's workflow, so assigning responsibilities based on individual strengths. So a team member with strong graphic designs will handle promotional materials, while someone else who's more outgoing, who can speak more, a natural speaker, can focus on securing guest speakers. I coordinated venue arrangements, as that is my role, and I managed communications with university officials to make sure that everything was running smoothly and was within the event policies. I find that clear and open communication was key in my role, and I believe for any administrative role. I scheduled regular check-in meetings to track progress, address any roadblocks, and ensure that everyone was progressively moving forward smoothly. I think one major challenge was the original venue became unavailable last minute, so we had to move locations. However, since I planned for something like this to happen, that I was afraid that this could be an issue, I have already researched backup locations and allowing us to quickly transition to an alternate venue without the event being completely disrupted and thrown into disarray. Additionally, I developed contingency plans with other potential disruptions, such as speaker cancellations or low attendance. This proactive approach ensured that we were prepared for any challenges that could arise on the day of the event. Ultimately, the event was super great. There was a lot of students there, so attendance was great, engagement was amazing, and there was a lot of participation from all the attendees. Feedback was also great, and this really showed the effectiveness of open communication in our teamwork and planning. This experience, I believe, demonstrated my ability to collaborate with diverse groups, adapt to challenges, and ensure smooth logistics in high-pressure environments. Thank you. Hello, my name is Ryan, just in case someone forgets. So during this portion of the assignment, I'll be reflecting on my interview performance. Looking back on my interview, I did identify 3 key strengths that I think helped me perform really well. First of all, I feel like the structures of my answers were really good because I used the STAR method. I believe that using the STAR method made my responses really clear and easy to follow for the interviewer. So when I answered the question about handling multiple projects as the public relations officer for the first response team, I provided a setting where I told them what my position was and I told them what I do with the position. So I was handling team communications, event planning, coursework deadlines, all at the same time. I also outlined the task of organizing my responsibilities efficiently and the detailed actions I took, such as digital planning, time blocking, delegating tasks. And then lastly, I concluded the result of explaining how I successfully managed my workload while maintaining productivity. I believe using a structured approach such as the STAR method allowed me to demonstrate my key skills, such as organization, problem solving, and multitasking, which the interviewer can easily identify. I think another one of my strengths, which also kind of ties into the STAR method, was connecting my experience to the role. So I try to make this interview as realistic as possible, so preparing for questions beforehand, which you definitely could because this isn't a real interview. But looking back in Unit 7 and units prior to that, we learned about the importance of researching the company's background, their mission, their values, and what their focus is. So I did some research on New Dawn Medical's missions and their focus and their values. I learned that the organization specializes in supporting individuals that struggle with addiction and chronic pain. So when I created my responses for the interview, I tailored my responses to highlight these key points, which is the patient-centered approach and understanding the importance of healthcare confidentiality from my emergency medical responder certification. I believe that making these direct connections, I highly demonstrated that I wasn't applying for any job, but I was really interested in this job because this specific role at this specific organization was a place that I could be very enthusiastic and while maintaining high professionalism and showing my skills and potential growth. From other experiences and relaying this back to course content from Unit 8, we learned about first impressions. There wasn't really a first impression for this, but also body language, so having good posture, trying to sound very enthusiastic with your tone, and I think that I did that really, really well. I dressed appropriately. I went and dressed. I believe I sat with pretty good posture. I think I maintained a positive facial expression, some could argue that it was kind of neutral. But lastly, I think the biggest part was the enthusiasm. So when discussing my skills, through using my tone, they can understand the importance of different things such as administration, organization, patient care. And I believe that through my tone and enthusiasm, they can understand parts that I highlight that are important to myself and strengths that align with the role. And I believe that using experiences like that helped me perform well overall. Yeah, those are my 3 key strengths. On the flip side, I think there were definitely areas to improve. So even during this portion, I used filler words like, like, or they were just long pauses. Oh, there we go again. I think it is very important that I polish my answers a bit more, so they flow a little smoother. There's better transitions and minimal filler words. I thought about improving these areas, so by practicing answering these questions out loud, maybe in front of a mirror or recording myself, I can rehearse mock interviews. So instead of creating questions myself, maybe I can have someone there with me so it feels more legit. I believe that incorporating these strategies can help me enhance my fluency and clarity. Another thing I want to work on is my nonverbal communication, so eye contact and facial expressions. Obviously, there wasn't a real person there. I had a stuffed animal dressed in a business casual. But the biggest part I want to focus on is my facial expressions. I believe I was a little bit too deadpan. I would love to have some more positive facial expressions. There's other times when I looked away from, I guess, the interviewer's point of view or camera. So I want to try to maintain more consistent eye contact. I say this because in Unit 7 we did learn about strong eye contact, because strong eye contact, I believe, projects, confidence, and definitely shows a level of professionalism. So in the future, for future interviews, I plan to focus and maintain steady engagement with the interviewer. Lastly, I want to be more concise. I found my answers really long. I think my reflections also getting kind of long. So I want my responses to be more well-structured, more concise, but gives the same level of depth. Something I can work on is cutting out unnecessary details or things that I may have over-explained or explained multiple times. One example I could use is for the tennis administrative instructor. I believe I went into way too much detail about scheduling inefficiencies when I could have summarized it into a couple key points. So yeah, moving forward, definitely try to keep my answers shorter. I know the rubric said anywhere between 1.5 to 3 minutes. I think anywhere between 1.5 minutes to 2 minutes, depending on the question, will suffice. Reflecting back on the interview as a whole, I think my interview preparation and performance aligned pretty well with majorly units 7 and 8. I conducted research about the employer using their company website, LinkedIn, job posting to understand what they are looking for. That helped me tailor my responses, and using in my responses I used the STAR method, so my answers were very clear, they were well structured, I think, and most of all, it was relevant. Lastly, I feel like I maintained a professional look through my appropriate attire, confident speaking, and body language. I feel like that I communicated really well. So my communication, while relaying my experiences and showing off my enthusiasm, was all positives. I think prepping and having these answers written down in the format of the STAR method helped me present myself as a stronger candidate. And I think some of my biggest key takeaways is that preparation and structuring your communication while presenting yourself in a way such as refining eye contact and reduced filler words can add a certain level of depth and meaning to my responses. I think focusing on these positives and areas to improve, such as being more concise in my answers, can help build further confidence and improve my professional interviewing skills. Yeah, overall, I think this interview was a valuable learning experience. I'm pretty proud about how I performed in front of a camera. It's not every day that I'm in front of a camera for interviews. But yeah, I think the most valuable takeaway was finding and recognizing these areas of improvement and applying that to future job opportunities and interviews. Thank you. Thanks for watching.